My study is about eliminating seniority as a means for bullying in the workplace. For this study, I interviewed my cousin Charmel Parungao, who is an uh, private elementary teacher who teaches at Tanza Child Development Center. So, according to her, one of the main problems that occur in their workplace is that um, older people or their seniors tend to boss them around, and the effects of this kind of thing is has a negative effect on their workplace. So I'm gonna discuss those effects. Seniority is the main cause of this problem. I think seniority is a very old problem that is uh, still experienced by many workers nowadays. Just like in their school, seniority is still rampant, and I think she told me that it greatly affects those who who are bullied and those who are younger. So one of the effects of this seniority is the inferiority complex. For me, seniority is becomes bad if it is used to um, negative things like bullying. Inferiority complex becomes an effect of this cause because those younger ones will now feel as if they are actually lower than those who are um, those who works for that institution for a very long time, which is not true because if you have this thing called professionalism, you will think that all workers should be treated as equal, even if you're older or not, if you're younger or not. I think equality must be respected because you're um, doing the same kind of work, and it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. I think if they want to experience or to observe some authority, they can do it by showing respect to those older, but not to the point that they will abuse their authority, like to boss them around and to cause some stress or to cause them problems that they should not have. The next effect would be weakened performance. Since these people with this characteristic tends to boss them around, people, younger workers in that institution became very stressful. Because of that, the effect of that is that stress weakens their performance. It means that they are not effective as a teacher. They are not anymore effective as a teacher because aside from their work, they're doing also the work of those teachers that are uh, older than them, because those teachers tend to um, pass them the work since they are younger. And the next effect would be absenteeism. Inferiority complex, weakened performance, and absenteeism are actually kind of related. Since they feel inferior, their performance will weaken, and then that will lead to an absenteeism. If a workplace is not harmonious or is not conducive for working, I think workers tend to be lazy, or then workers will feel very uncomfortable in their workplace, which leads them to not appearing to work at all. If they feel uncomfortable, they feel unrespected, and absenteeism a very um, is a very large problem when it comes to the company or the institution they're working, because one absent means one worker did not do his job, and that will greatly affect the income or the product or the productivity of a company. The next is disruption of organization's functionality. It is also related to inferiority complex, weakened performance, and absenteeism. Disruption of organization's functionality, it will occur if the workers who are supposed to be productive and effective became now a burden to a company. So if they always get sick, or if they always leave work, or they are not producing anything that will be helpful to the company, it will disrupt the organization's functionality, and the organization will not be effective at all. Last but not the least is the resignation. Resignation, I think this is the worst case effect that may happen if seniority is in a workplace. If they do not feel that they can't handle the pressure of those who are higher than them, then I think they will not stay in that institution. So they will resign. They will now resign, and that institution will they will leave that institution a big problem, because if you're in an institution like a school, and resigning is very is not a good thing for them, because teachers in the Philippines are only few. So if one quits, then they have to search for another, which is not an easy thing to do. So what can I recommend to solve this thing called seniority? So what I have in mind is two things: to counterattack it before it happens, and to actually heal those who have this kind of characteristic. To counterattack or to prevent means to solve it before it happens. So I suggest doing some seminars, so that these potential workers who will have this characteristic of being a bad influence, or using their seniority in a bad way, will now realize that this is not actually helpful for them, and is not actually helpful for everyone around them. In this seminar, they will learn that they should respect other employees or other workers the same as they respect themselves. They should be treated equal. No one is greater than the other, or no one is a priority than the other. They should live in a peaceful environment, so that they can be conducive to work. The next one is to actually heal those who have this seniority. Healing them is actually not that easy to do, but trying to bring them to a counseling, trying to counsel them about the things that they've done bad, may actually help them realize that it is not very helpful for the company, and as for them as a person. Counseling may the effects of counseling may vary, but at least this counseling will make them realize that this kind of trait is not a good trait that should be taken into work. So I think they will do something about it. Monthly counseling will become useful for them, so that they can improve, even little by little, gradually, of the things or the characteristics that hinders other people to do well as them, so that in the near future they will have a harmonious relationship, and the place will be conducive to work. Thank you. That's all.